Hi, I'm Audrey, and I am going to be doing my last From video for our From class at the Miami Valley School. And I'm going to be talking about the Mandala in Motion, which is a really neat little packet that we got in class that we've been talking about. And basically, there's 5 elements that include earth, water, fire, wind, and the formless potential, often referred to as void. And these 5 center figures and their symbolic elements each represent a distinct and particular coming together of archetype potentials, psychological aspects, physical characteristics, views on life, temperaments, inner values, roots of potential, and transformations of limitations into awakened powers. As such, these 5 archetypes of the mandala represent 5 different collections or assemblies of life experience, textures, outlooks, and approaches. There are 5 kinds of life driving tendencies. Each of these 5 assemblies has been given a name as a label for identifying and differentiating it from others. Each of the 5 leads to a particular aspect of wisdom when worked with under the influence of study or training. Each of these 5 aspects of wisdom, in turn, provides a way inward and upward to supreme ultimate wisdom in its fullest developed state. And then a little more explaining this. In 1943, psychologist Abraham Maslow published a theory of motivation now popularly known as the hierarchy of need. He posited that any human being's behavior could be seen as a response from several motives tied to 5 general progressing categories of need. The first is psychological survival. The second is safety and security. The third is love and affection. The fourth is self-esteem. The fifth is self-actualization. The Asian Stoic heresy hierarchy, as described in the Kongokai Diamond Realm Mandala of the Japanese Qigong and Tendai tradition, is both similar to Maslow's hierarchy and yet different. The Mikio concepts of earth, stability, water, knowledge, fire, connection, wind, free movement, and void, fulfillment. And there are aspects or character traits which go with these different 5 types. And there are positive and negative sides of these. So I'm going to go through them and read them to you, and then I'm going to give you an example of how this can be found even in our modern society today. So Earth, also known, positively known as the commander, its color is golden yellow, and like I said, it is also related with stability. The negative traits that could go with this are complacent, stubborn, repressed, dictatorial, self-centered. And the positives that could go with this are seeking value in what we have, confident, conservative, commanding, manifesting abundance. And then water is also known as the innovator or knowledge, and its color is crystal clear or blue. And the negative traits that go with this are distant, angry, manipulative, selfish, intellectually fixed. And then the positive ones are empirical, determined, tactical, ambitious, and knowledgeable. And then fire, which is known as the connection or the communicator. Its color is red or like sunset colors. Its negative characteristics are attention-seeking, desperate, greedy, distracted, or superficial. And the positive ones are self-disclosed, intensely alive, unrestrained, in touch with others, or entertaining. Then wind is the server, and or free movement, and the characteristics that go with the negative aspect of Win are fantastic, workaholic, ruthless, insecure, thus authority-seeking, and competitive. But the positive side of this is inspired, serving, unencumbered, committed, and accomplishing. And then these are set up in like 2 rows of 3. So there's like void in the middle, and then the other 4 on the outside of it. And void is also known as self-actualizing. So a physical representation of these characteristics in our culture today is a popular movie that maybe you guys have seen. If you haven't, you should, because it's really good. The Avengers. So if you look at the characters in that movie, you can kind of see how these different types are manifested in the positive heroes. So Captain America could also be Earth, and he's like the inspired commander general. The Hulk or Dr. Banner could be water, which is like the really intellectual person who tries to solve problems. Iron Man or Tony Stark could easily be fire or the charismatic leader. And Thor could be wind, also known as like the selflessly courageous, and he tries to make the world a better place. And then if you look at all of these different types, that they're very different and they don't get along sometimes because of those differences, but when they come together and form the Avengers, they make a void that like puts into action all of the great potentials of the individuals. So I thought that was a pretty interesting connection between this ancient these ancient ideas and then a modern example in our society today. Thanks.